STS deprogrammed for a reason because I had to get rid of that old programming that nearly took my life away. It's real life shit. That's why I'm here today. And yeah, we're back with Lady Crown. And we don't stay down, we stay up, and we don't chat pop, but it's not real talk. It's another midweek catch up. And trust me, greetings to you all, you know. And trust me, what you got to say to the people, damn, you know.
Greetings, 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 greetings. Another beautiful day in this
It's beautiful.
new era in time, the new world birthing, the reset, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I greet you all because it's a wonderful day. First, I'd like to shout out my beautiful son who came to visit us yesterday, but he came up on Monday
Shouts
with
to
his
the
son.
bro idea, Leon.
So Leon Jr. and Sarah. I hope I got your name correct because you know I'm terrible with names. We really loved it and appreciated your visit from Sheffield. So it's been a while since we've seen Leon Jr. So it was really nice to, just sit down and chill and chat and reconnect. So thank you very much for your visit. If you watch this video, much love to all.
Trust me, blessings, and yeah, what can we tap into right now? It's just flowing off my head, you know. I gotta get off my head, yeah. I can't even say shout outs. You don't even know what's there, fam. I think Chris Rock has lost the plot, but he hasn't. I give it to you like this year. He's working for certain entities, so he's been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? And when you're working for those entities, you have to express their agenda. You know what I mean? So that's what he's dealing with right now. And he made a joke. Well, quite a lot of jokes about killing babies, about abortion, and
I don't know. You can make jokes or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the jokes, but I'm not going to say it. You get me?
Because it's not a joke.
You can check it for yourself, and it's a Chris Rock special that came out the other week, and yeah, you can tap into that if you want to. And it's not just about the abortions. He talks about a lot of different stuff. The Will Smith slap, a lot of different things, but. Yeah, man, you can't be making jokes about that, man, because that's not something to be joking about. You know what I mean? That's life. But there's no rules in comedy. You know what I mean? Real life.
Well, control comedy because it's not really. Oh, let me just make sure. It don't feel uncomfortable on the other side, the hood. Yeah, it's not a comedy. You know, if you think about it, that's not comedy. I mean, it's 50 years that these I don't know what you call it. Because you can't call them laws, can you? Because that's what they call them, abortion laws. But I mean, that's it's a man that made a decision that it was okay to murder the baby in the womb for whatever your reasons were. You know, you're poor, you were raped, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? The man made that decision to make it legal. I mean, we'll call it legal because it's not lawful for you to do something like that. So it's almost as if people have been desensitized to the fact that women in the past have murdered the baby in the womb, because that's what it is. But when you use the word like abortion, it lessens the.
That's why words are powerful.
Very,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can now.
It lessens the blow, don't it?
Exactly. I mean? So I mean, if that's what it said, oh, it's murdering the baby in the womb. So that's what you want to do, is it? How many women would think, oh my God, is that what I'm doing? You see what I'm saying? But the abortion or termination, it means to end. And if they, especially those ones that's gone through, some period of gestation. So we're looking at, I think it was in this country, it was 24 weeks. You could actually, just the thought alone makes my knees go weak, And once at 24 weeks, you're talking about a 6-month-old baby. And everybody knows the baby born premature, can't live. So it's not like taking a pill and the egg detaches itself and it disappears. No, this is a medical procedure. And I don't want to describe what they do. Go and look it up for yourself. The thought alone, this is God's creation. The Creator's creation. We are co-creators. That's why we have the ability to carry babies in our wombs and to bring forth life. But it's been, I don't know, taken over and made to be something that's not that bad. And it's okay for you to do. But then when you look at what they've done with those aborted fetuses, some of the things that they're doing is horrendous. You know, the skincare products that, oh, I got this lovely cream. That was so expensive, but look at me face. Yeah, baby. You know what I mean? They bought fetal cells.
Embryo cells.
You know, that are in those products. I mean, you know, they're finding traces of human DNA in foods. What do you think they're doing with it? You're consuming our own babies. Sick as it sounds, that's exactly what's happening. So, you know, Chris Rock, we don't know. We now know. I think the whole world knows, even if they, you know, got their head buried in the sand, that these people that are in these positions where they're on your television in these movies are all compromised. You cannot be in Hollywood. You cannot be a musician, a singer, a dancer, an artist. You can and be mainstream. I'm saying you can be all of those things because guess what? There's millions of people out there, billions of people talented, but they ain't sold nothing to get something. You know what I'm saying? But those in front of us, those that we've been given to idolize and worship, are the ones that are controlled by the powers that be, and they will do. You think that man that Chris Rock once said, you know, yo, go put out there and talk about, you know, because we're running low on those because people start, you know, because Roe v. Wade overturned that ruling. So there's a lot of states in America now. There's some states that still say permit it, but there's your demonic ones, you know, like New York. Oh yeah, come in at 12 months. If you can carry on for 12 months, we'll still let you do what you need to do because there's some demonic forces ruling New York and Washington DC. Come in, Mario.
One thing I must say, some of the jokes, the reason why I'm not going to mention them, some of them are quite explicit, you know, where you're thinking, yo, what's this guy on? Because this is what these men are doing behind the scenes. And they have to show you in order to, because these lot know about the universal laws as well. They have to show you what they're doing. Get me to, how can I put it? To decrease their karma.
It's like a contract, almost like a soul contract that they make. So we're going to do some evil satanic shit, but guess what? We're going to put it to you in such a way that it's entertainment. It's in a movie. It's in a book. You know what I mean? But guess what? They're telling you the truth.
I remember, just come to me right now. Yeah, he was a great comedian, but I remember Richard Pryor. He made one joke. Yeah, that guy wasn't joking. I think it was a homosexual joke. He was not joking. If you ever look at that guy's face, trust me, he wasn't joking. I ain't gonna say the joke, but yeah.
You know, saying that there was there's a video that he had on YouTube years and years ago when he was entering like the pyramids and was looking at the artifacts and then looking at himself and going, "Gosh, that's me." But if you went on YouTube now, you'll never ever find that. It's been purged in such a way. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to use the alternative ones because, you know, your BitChutes, your Rumbles, your Odyssey. There's so many out there. Decentralized. Decentralized means there's not a central body saying, yeah, that can go on or that. Because, you know, like how our channels were taken down. Was it last year? STS, I can't remember. Both channels taken down. That would never have happened on Rumble or BitChute.
They'll still be up there.
They'll still be up there because you know what? We weren't speaking any lies. We weren't telling people to do things that harm themselves. We're trying to stop people from falling for the bullshit. But YouTube saw fit to come with its guidelines, and because we didn't adhere to the guidelines governing the bullshit that they rolled out in 2020, they decided to take our channel down. Now, so you've got to ask yourself, what in God's name is going on?
Because you're spreading out a message that's going to help people on their journey. That's what it really comes down to. And the agenda isn't that.
Exactly.
For them.
So
for us.
If we played into the bullshit, and we did the Chris Rock and them kind of sitting there,
we came on entertainment thing. Yo, we be flying up there.
Listen,
we're on about 10k right now. 10k subscribers doing live streams.
I sure really could silver plaque or bronze plaque from YouTube. You can shove all of that where the sun don't shine. YouTube.
Okay, Lady Graham.
Oh, you understand me, though. Them man that get those so-called awards or recognition from YouTube who are out there speaking the truth, speaking their truth, and trying to help their fellow men and women. I applaud you, congratulate you, well done. But those of you who've gotten those awards and you've done nothing for your fellow men and women, especially the elderly and the children, the babies, our sons and daughters, the boys and girls, yet done nothing for them. I'm sorry, but I do not applaud you for your award, and you can put it where the sun don't shine.
You know, like I said yesterday, remember what I was saying yesterday, you got to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
You get me? Because if you don't, you're going to stand down for anything out here. You know what I mean? A lot of people really need to tap into the truth of life, because if you don't, it's going to present it to you all the time through your life. This is how the universe works.
Yeah.
It works on humor as well.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's going to laugh at you and say,
It
oh,
does.
what, you're going to run?
Yeah.
Here's this.
Yeah.
Because you can't run.
You can't.
That's the illusion. Because you can't run away from yourself. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with self all the time. So them people faking that, I say, you know what? Go on where you go. Because just try, no. Judgment Day is coming. It's coming.
I'm telling you.
Real life.
Those of us out there who have remained silent, who have done nothing to sound the alarm, especially those of you out there that were in positions of what they'd like to say power, because they were the doctors or the nurses or the first responders, who continued with this bullshit and caused massive loss of life that continues to this day. If anything's escalating because of certain things that people had done to them. I think it's in Switzerland where the Attorney General and the President, they're going to have to answer for their crimes. The highest court in Switzerland has literally issued documents for them to be questioned for what happened. And if I'm wrong on the country, then I will check it and get back to you. I think when I was talking about the two countries without the central banks, it was North Korea. Now, the South Korea, North Korea, and Iran were the only two countries. It was the US's plan to have a central bank in every country. And guess what? That would be the world domination, because that's what they do. Thank goodness for the Shanghai Corporation. Thank goodness for the BRICS nations that are coming together and moving away from the US's hegemony, their full control over everything. Can you imagine what kind of world that would be? And it would be a world for those who participate in that world, not for those who don't, who are outside it. You can be in the world but not of it. If you're in it and of it, then trust me. Like my mother said, dog, I'm your supper.
And the universe works on synchronicities. So you got to realize that nothing's happening by coincidence. Remember Queen Michelle?
Yes.
With the lady.
Oh my goodness! Some fruit that the Queen bought, and she sent a picture. I think you guys might have seen it on Telegram, and it's got Lady M, and at the end of the letter M, right at the top, there's a crown. What Queen Michelle doesn't know is that's I also use that moniker, if you want to call it that, Lady M. One of my email addresses is Lady M. And I also call myself Lady Crown. And the synchronicities, I still use it because I have an email address with Lady M, and some of my, usernames for various accounts would be Lady M as well as Lady Crown. So when I saw that, and what can I say, Queen? It is what it is, isn't it? It's just showing us that, there's greater forces, greater forces than this matrix stuff, holographic illusion world that we're in, and we are truly interconnected. And the more we connect on these higher vibrations, is the more the universe reveals to us. It's absolutely, and that is no coincidence. And we don't know that already. It's not a coincidence. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Oh my goodness, look at this! Wow, and she didn't know that I call myself Lady M as well.
Another synchronicity on top. And
so trust me.
The unseen forces have more power than the seen forces. This is why I say this physical realm's a big illusion that creates hella confusion. Yeah. Remember, you're only seeing under 1% of the light frequency, baby. You know what I mean? There's spirits round us, ancestors round us, you know what I mean? You got to realize that you have to connect with that spirit, because if you don't, you're going to be guided by the mainstream. And most of the mainstream to do with bullcrap. And to do with hella lies, you know what I mean? This is why so many people got so many lies within them, because they've been watching and listening to lies all their lives. You get me? This is why they speak it. Like my mentor out there said, whatever you consume will consume you.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna consume lies, you're gonna become the lie. Remember when you made that joke about the crisp? Oh, you gotta say that, man, about the crisp, but
when you get some chuppy people out there call themselves mothers and fathers, and
oh my
you
days,
see them with them little boy or girl, and it's all their own teetotals. Let me say, what do you mean? So fruits and no, he only eats crisps, and it's got to be this flavour as well. So that's all I give him. So well, if that's all you feed your picnic crisps, then that's exactly what your picnic is.
A packet of crisps.
A packet of crisps.
Because that's what you have.
Imagine what nutrition can you get out of crisps? And you tell me that you are brought forth a baby into this world. You were there to structure their life, make sure that they're fed and watered well. You feed their mind, body, and soul. And you sit down and tell them, yeah, we eat crisps. Want a box?
I remember we were discussing, and this was weeks ago, but it just come to me now. When we said, when people are blaming a child for being bad, that's the illusion again. Because you need to look at root cause. Who's parenting that child? Who's the mother and father? So when that child's acting up, look what they're consuming. Look what the environment that they're in. We love to just blame somebody, not realizing what's within them.
It's easy for us to do that.
It's, look at on that picnic there. Always bad. Like, wait a sec. The picnic's on Coca-Cola all day and flipping hot dogs, and you get me?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because we don't look at the inner.
Yeah.
We always look at the outer.
Yeah.
This is the illusion.
Yeah. We always blame.
Always
out there,
blaming somebody, but never looking at self. They're never looking at self.
And they've done so many experiments like that, especially when you've got people that have been incarcerated, and they shank up them one another and all kind of turf war in the jail.
Yeah, they are.
They take a section of them and change their diet.
Fruit and veggies. What happens? What happens?
Everything calmed
the
down.
The violence decreases
it went down. So when man and man's getting all battered up in them places, you know why? They make sure that you behave like that. They treat you like an animal. They feed you like an animal. They feed you a hog.
You just remind me of something in America. They done an experiment where they only took out meat out the prisons. The violence decreased significantly. It just shows you that the blood has a big effect on your brain. You wanna bite someone because you're living like a carnivore.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, you're not a herbivore, fam.
Not a herb. You wanna bite something, fam, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever you.
It changes your DNA.
Changes the way you think, the way you act.
Everything about you changes. You'll know that when you start to make the transition away from these chemicalized foods that you're eating now. Because trust me, when I was a young girl growing up, the man used to drive around in a truck and you get a live chicken off the sitting and its head would come off. Mum sit down there and pluck him and do what she have to do with him, and that was Sunday dinner. It wasn't interfered with in any way. It wasn't injected with and the chicken breast. You didn't fight for no chicken breast because there wasn't nothing on it. Now you can see something in supermarkets that big like it come off as some ostrich. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and people
that's the biggest bird in the world.
One of them big one.
Well,
it was an ostrich breast, Then you'd expect something like that on your plate.
Yeah.
Pump it with chemicals, put water in it, estrogen, you name it, silicone, all sorts, man. Only for tap, eat it. I tell you, you stop buying it, there'll be no need for them to produce it. Get a couple of chickens of your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want them to have 2 eggs in a back, they'll say to you, avian flu, and you can't listen, you can't. Yes, you can. Stand as a living man or woman, and you can do anything that you want to do, providing you cause no loss, no harm, no damage, no injury. You understand me? Your warvas, your inner. That's what you do.
I remember Econ saying, shouts to Econ out there, he said that the street that he lives on, there's 10 chicken shops.
Okay.
So he's talking about availability because it's so available. This is why people consume it. It's all over the shop.
It's all over. And they make it like that. They want it like that. When they have the big ass lockdown in America, some states, man, you could still go to titty bars.
Go to the liquor store.
Because it was deemed as an essential. You could go to the liquor store.
But you couldn't go to church.
You couldn't go to church, and you could go and get a baby ripped out of your womb.
And you could go to the abortion clinic.
Yes. during the
So it shows
freaking
you the
lockdown.
agenda,
So
you
it
get
shows
me?
you, and the church where you think that, boy, when calamity I come like that, you say, Lord, everybody, all them when don't believe, unbeliever, run down a church, go make their knee bone white, tell them I'm going to kneel down for prayer. But you could not do that, but you could go to those other places. That shows you what's been going on in this world. And I don't, like I said, where I live, there's not one minister that I know personally or have heard of that kept their church open. They were quick for filling up the Zoom and the PayPal to get the tide in. That's what they did, because they're all governed by the states and the countries that they live in. I think it's a 501 in America where you can get concessions. You see, you get the manse is what they call it over here, which is your house attached to the church that is paid for. You don't
So
pay.
it's tax-free.
It's tax free.
Yeah.
You don't pay this. You don't pay that because you're a minister. No, you are now part of the United Kingdom Corporation. They are now paying you, and when they pay you, you do what you are told. You'd have to be an independent minister out there with your own little something that you're running that didn't take a penny from them. The minute you receive a penny from your so-called government, then that means that you are one of them. And that's all of the churches. They all receive this money. It's called blood money because they're paid to lie to you, to deceive you and make you in such a state where you're so willing to hand over everything to Jesus. But your next door neighbor who did their can't fend for themselves, you wouldn't extend a hand to. You tell me what type of Christian or man of God or woman of God do you call that?
The art of deception. You know, we was talking about this. You know, the invisible man, the invisible woman, not realizing that it's about you, fam. You get me? You are the God. You are the goddess. Yeah. Realize who you are. And this is, I get it. If you don't know who you are, you can fall for anything out here. Trust me.
Yep.
I remember you mentioning, because you stimulated a thought pattern, the private school in New York.
Yes.
Stayed open. Why is that? Because they're private. It's independent entity. You know what I mean? So they govern.
Private Members Association. That's how they set it up. That's how you can set up yourself. Become a private members association. Trust me, you step right outside. Have a private trust. Step outside. Do what they do. That's why they laugh at you when you want to take them to court and sue them for this. Who are you suing? You can't sue the trust. The trust is not a body. It's not a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? You absolutely become the beneficiary of everything that you have, but you don't own it. And if you don't own it, there's nobody that can come and they can't come and put a lien on your property because of some outstanding debt or whatever, because it doesn't belong to you. Yes, you have the beneficiary of it because you're living in it or you're doing whatever you're doing with it, but the trust cannot be attacked. It's called a private trust, not registered with no state or no government. You send it back to yourself like you do with your live life claim or your life birth claim. You send that document back to you. You're the living flesh and blood man or woman, not the corporation. Once we've registered, it now belongs to whoever we've registered it to.
Shout outs to David Wynn Miller, you know, the power of notices. Because when you notify somebody, they have to follow the rules now, you know. Remember those notices that you put on your car, you get me?
Oh, yes.
The content grammar flag.
Yeah.
Because it has so much power when you notify somebody. You get me? You better not be doing this. Otherwise, that terror is going to happen. Yeah. It's a big thing out here. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I tell you. Anywhere I go, wherever I'm driving, as long as I'm not impeding anybody, you know, I'm not parking up at a traffic light and thinking, oh, you know what, I'm the big guy, I'm going to park it. No. You know, that would be stupid to go and park your car at a set of traffic lights and go about your business. You'd be asking for trouble. It's the ego. It's about using your mode of transportation however you want to. And what I'm doing is transporting my cargo. I am the cargo. I'm a vessel, and all of the roads that we travel on are shipping lanes. Because remember, it's maritime. It's shipping lanes. So you need to transport your vessel from A to B. Well, that's exactly what you're doing, traveling and transporting your vessel, your cargo. You are the cargo from A to B. That's what you're doing. Where you see pass when you're out and about doing what you're doing. Just met these imbeciles out there that don't know any better, know that they're dealing with a flesh and blood man or woman. The minute you succumb and you identify as a Mr. and Ms. or whatever, it's over for you. You're now under their jurisdiction.
The pen is mightier than a sword.
Yeah.
this is why, trust me, the writers run the world. It's a world full of contracts.
Yes.
And if you don't know how to contract properly, you're gonna get robbed.
You're gonna.
And many people are getting robbed out here
We've all been.
every day.
We've all been.
Yeah,
we've all have been
Most
because we've
definitely.
all done the registration. We've all gone and registered our sons and daughters with the state and got a Crown copyright birth certificate. Not a life birth, a birth certificate, and that certificate looks exactly the same when it's a death certificate or a marriage certificate. It's set up exactly the same. All your boxes on the same kind of paper with a crown at the top of it. We've given ourselves away. We've given our children away. We've given our marriage certificate becomes a bond and is traded because what do you go? They get you to go back around the vestry, and what do you do? Sign. The wife and the husband sign, and then I don't know if the minister witnesses it all, and that is now a bond that's traded for zillions. Your bond, because everything that you put a signature to is securitized. It's now a promissory note, and it can be used for whatever. Like when you're buying your house and you're signing on your mortgage deed. That's it. Your signature's created the money for that house. So why are you paying? What are you paying for? Yeah. The money that they create out of thin air is a debt instrument, so you can't take a debt to pay a debt. But that's what we do because of the system and how it's been set up, and it is crumbling as we speak. That's why you're seeing everything. I told you that they was going to go after Trump for some bullshit. Stormy Daniels or whatever her name was. Yeah, paid her some porn star. Who gives a crap? Yeah. Let's talk about Hunter and his laptop. Yeah, and Joe and his dealings in Ukraine and China. Let's talk about that. Oh, but no, we're going to because yet again it's a distraction because they're rolling out the Fed coin. Nigeria, oh mate, they nailed them over there. With that central, the digital currency, the e-naira, nailed them over there to the point where a lot of people are now starting to use it because they're really. I mean, you imagine if you went to draw out 1,000 naira. They would charge you 400 naira to take out the 1,000. That's how much pressure they put on the people. You imagine that? You're all on our money in the banks. That's what I'm trying to say. The control that they have over you once you've got all your funds in there. Well, but even the people that had money at home that they used because that's what they used for their businesses. When they were ready to take it to the banks, they were saying, no, we no longer accept that. Literally, they woke up one day and said, oh, those monies aren't accepted. Like they did in India. The big notes were not accepted, were no longer in circulation. So, this is what I've got here. And you're telling me that it's over. Listen, look at Paris. Look what's happening in Paris. I'm telling you, it burns by day and it burns by night. All over the world, people are getting up, standing up and saying no more. We're not going to sit back and let you do the things that you have been doing and continue to do it and get away with it. And we just sit here passively and go, oh, well, that's just the way it is, isn't it? I suppose we better accept the 15 minutes. If you want to be, in the 15-minute city and tracked and traced, and you want your little digital wallet and your digital ID, you want to become that avatar, then guess what? I say good luck to you. You know what I mean? And I wish you all the best, but not me. Absolutely no way. Or is anybody going to come and tell me where I can go, what I can do, what I can buy, how much of this? Listen, me turn big woman a long time ago. My mother stopped telling me what to do a long time ago. And in my stage of life now, I got to get some demonic force, some I don't know what to call them, to tell me what I can do. Like they don't do it now. I don't pay them no mind because it's not me they're talking to. Put my notices up and I go about my business and nobody don't trouble me because I'm not creating a force. I'm not doing anything to cause any harm or injury. So leave me the hell alone. Simple as that. Do not fall into that trap. Tell all your people out there, do not accept it. I know the pressures that they put, but you see, the people them in Nigeria, they didn't have the alternatives. They didn't have the precious metals. But if you are outside of that because you've got other, then that's why the communities are going to come into force and be really a force to reckon with. Because if you come together as a collective, guess what? We don't have to do. There's somebody that bakes, somebody that sews, somebody that's a mechanic, somebody that's a plumber, and we all come together as a collective. What have we got? A nation within a nation. We don't need nothing that they've got. We can just do what we're doing. And that's what we have to move towards because they're not going to stop with their agenda. and they're fear tactics, because they're going to entice people in, just like they did with the you know what, get a burger, or we'll give you some tickets to go to a football match if you take your. Imagine that. Imagine having to be bribed to do something that's going to be beneficial to you. It's never been beneficial to you. Never. Not one of those things that they give to anybody as any benefit whatsoever. And anybody that's out there who's a virologist or whatever, come prove it to me that by putting something alien to your biological structure inside of your body is beneficial to you, and how it's beneficial to you. You're born with an innate immune system. It's proper fired up and kicked up by the colostrum that the baby gets from the mother at birth. That's what fuels and ignites that immune system in that baby. And then they come along and tell you about your Africa, them bring them down for their shots, because that's what they're doing. They're shooting them. Children don't get cancer. They really don't. But you can go to any hospital wherever you live and you'll find children on the cancer ward. Where it come from? Babies just don't go to sleep and don't wake up. But we call it SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. It's got nothing to do with the fact that you took little Tommy to go get juk up a couple of weeks ago or days ago. It's got nothing to do with that, causing neurological damage. Literally, brain looks like it's been, that the head's been mashed against a wall. How much it's ruptured the brain, and they blame it on the parents. I told you about that some time ago. People were locked up because they said that the only way that this could have happened is if the baby had been thrown against the wall, and those parents went to jail for something they didn't do, or because of what? They took their little sons and daughters to go and get what it is they're supposed to get, and that was the result. But we're going to call it SIDS, a bit like the one that we're calling sudden adult death syndrome now that's taking place. I wonder where that came from. They're done.
You feel lighter.
Oh, much lighter. It's this is, for me, this is really a form of therapy. I beg on sit with me. It's actually a form of therapy, because the way when I speak these things out, they're no longer. I don't carry them.
In your head.
Exactly.
So I say self-expression is so key.
I'm telling you, without that, I don't know what I would do. To be quite honest with you. So you know what I mean. I have to big up STS, because if it wasn't through his insistence to say, oh, Mom, come on, let's do it. Oh, so you got others from me. I'm too busy. I can't. Yeah. Listen, it was a way for me to speak.
Therapy, isn't it?
And even if I was to speaking to myself, trust me, and nobody ever watched this, it will still be something that benefits me. And I hope those that are listening would benefit them as well, because trust me, I ain't telling you nothing that I'm not doing for myself. Trust me, because if I had it all to do again, if I had the knowledge that I have now, there's no way they'd have put their little dirty finger up on my picnic and put nothing inside their body. Absolutely not. But ignorance is no longer bliss.
It's unknowing to people. This is why, you're right. And I just end it on this, Knowledge isn't power. The execution of knowledge is. This is why I say action. This talking business, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't resonate with the people that really know how the mind and consciousness works, because people can say anything. Conscious mind can make up any reality. Your subconscious programming is controlling your reality. So you have to tap into the right action that best serves you. You know what I mean? Then you'll start really manifesting, not only for self, but for other people. Us getting on camera, we're manifesting because we're taking action. We're not just, chatting a little nonsense, keeping it 100. You know what I mean? And a lot of people need to tap into this, because trust me, your voice is so powerful. It can change somebody's life. Just one sentence, can change somebody's whole life and make them look at life totally differently, because it's all perception. This is why I say, now. You have to laugh. You know what? This is why it's beautiful, It's a flip, no rehearsal, no script, no acting going on. And keep working on your mind, body and soul in order to achieve your goals, because we're there with you.
Spiritually.
You don't know, bro and sis.
Bless up.
Stay blessed.
Enjoy the rest of your strong days, and have a strong weekend. Blessings.